Hi, Tom. Thanks for doing this narration with us today.
No problem.
All right, so walk us through this. This is your first gi. This is the first gi tournament that we got you on tape doing. Um, what are some adjustments that one has to make going into a competition like this?
Yeah, you just gotta be wary of getting choked with the collar and the lapels. You can get swept a lot easier with the gi. There's a lot more fabric to grab onto and the like.
All right, so this match happened almost a month. This tournament happened almost a month ago. Looking back on it, can you tell us what you're thinking right now? Like putting yourself back in here. Like, are you nervous? Are you excited? Or are you just whatever?
Yeah, a little bit of both. It's always nervous when you got people watching you, but nerves are a good and a bad thing sometimes. You just gotta find the way to use them in the proper way to get the job done.
So, right here we have Tom Farley pregame mode. What upstairs is your pregame? What's going through your mind?
Somebody said something funny, that's why I just smiled right there. But other than that, I'm just, I don't know anything about this dude. I'm just taking it how it comes. I'm watching his stance. It's really low, pulls me in the guard. Right here, he pulls guard.
Notice right here he's trying to he tried to go for a sweep, but then he gave up on it. If you were in his position, what would you have done?
I would have just tried to control the guy on top's posture, just keep him really low, keep him off balance, and look for a sweep or a submission. He went from the guillotine, now he's got a hand on my collar, going for the leg. I'm kind of just trying to create space here. I end up getting in half guard right there. I push his leg down, passed in the half guard. It's still 0-0 at this point. Right here, I trap his arm. He made the mistake of reaching up a little too far. I just tucked his arm under my head. I was so worried about trying to get the arm triangle, he actually pulled me back into his guard. It was a real nice job. Nice job of doing that.
Looks like you're using everything in the tank to try to hold this guy down. Did he feel like he was on your level strength-wise?
I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean, a lot of it is just leverage, too. It's not really... You'd be surprised. Some really small dudes can feel like they're very strong just based on the fact that it's technique and just a lot of the gi. It makes it really hard to create space. He went for a triangle here, and I just switched my hips, pinned the one leg down, and just did a quick switch of the hips and got to the side control.
It's amazing how fast it happens. When he went for the triangle, it almost looked like he gave up on it at like the last second, and then you capitalized. Is this really is this a mental game of chess that we're watching here?
Yeah, in a lot of ways. And right here I trap his one arm. He tries to roll, I feel his neck, and he lands kind of in the wrong spot to land.
Notice he tapped really quick, like, yeah, it almost looks like he didn't even have time to like strangle him. I mean, was it that deep?
Yeah, I felt it was pretty tight. When it was tight before I even landed on my back to finish the choke. So. I had an idea of how tight I was squeezing it. I didn't have to do much after it was sealed.
Just another day at the office.
Exactly.
From what I remember, this one was a war.
Yeah, it was a long, drawn-out, testament of will, pretty much. We're pretty even in terms of skill and strength, so it was a pretty hard match, pretty hard-fought match.
Now, I bet training with each other compounded the difficulty of trying to outmatch the other.
Well, to be honest, he doesn't really do this when we wrestle in class. It was kind of weird seeing it for the first time. I mean, I've seen like little portions of this, but he didn't really ever try this too much when we live wrestled in class, so it was a little different. He's working De La Riva hooks in there, and I'm trying to figure out how to pass. The first time I was worried about getting swept, so I kind of spun out of it. Now I'm just kind of grabbing an ankle here. He's doing a lot to try to control my posture. He's got his hand in my collar. I'm just kind of trying to create some space and keep myself from getting swept and knocked over. I know he's got a pretty good top game too. I don't want to have him on top. I'm just good around here, but he works his knee back in pretty well.
Looking back at this, how does this compare with your first match?
Well, I think Matt was a little fresher than the first guy. The first guy just got done wrestling a few matches before. Obviously, the rank, Matt's going to be getting his blue belt very soon, so he's definitely a lot more
seasoned.
Yeah, more seasoned, I would say. You know, not to take anything away from the other guy, it's just a matter of time spent training, and Matt's been training a while, so this match was a little more of a battle in the first.
Now, someone not familiar with jiu-jitsu might think that you two are just like stalling or laying around, but that's not the case, is it?
Well, I mean, slightly. I was kind of trying to just pace myself here. I know I had a few more matches after this as well. And, you know, Matt's thinking the same thing. You know, he's not trying to. None of us are spazzing. We're just like, we're almost rolling like we do in class. It's just very controlled.
And just to clarify, when we say in class, this is where you train also, right?
Yeah, I train Hassett Jiu-Jitsu. It's located in Sewell, off Route 47.
That's New Jersey.
Southern New Jersey.
South Jersey representing.
So I'm still trying to pass here, but he's doing a very good job of keeping me in his guard. At this point, I'm just kind of like, just trying to keep him flat and keeping him from moving. I'm looking for that Darce choke, but he shrinks his arm, so I can't get it.
Now, from the guard, do you think he's trying to trap you in a submission, or do you think he's trying to sweep you so he can take your back?
Definitely sweep or take the back. There's really no submissions open to him at this point right now. I got him flattened out on his back and just trying to apply some shoulder pressure to him. He gets out. He does a good job, you know, create some space here. Always working that hand in the collar. Very good job. Always keeping me guessing. At this point, I'm thinking he's...
Looks here like he could have had your leg.
Yeah, he was looking for a knee bar or like a... I can't remember quite, but I spun out of it. He could have had a knee bar or a straight foot lock. If I wasn't able to get out of that, I could have been in some trouble.
When you spun out of it, it looked like you almost fell to your hip, but you caught yourself on your hand. It's amazing how fast you guys move. Like at first, it's like you're going zero, then bam, like right away. It's incredible.
And it's more like a muscle reflex. You get it from training a lot and, you know, training for some time. And right now he's working a closed guard. Looked like he had a triangle around my back, but it's more or less just a closed guard upon further review. He's always working them hooks in. At this point I drop back for a straight footlock, but I realize I don't really have anything. He goes to take my back, I roll, I get up, I sprawl. He goes for a guillotine.
Were you in any danger at this point? I mean, he doesn't have both arms for the guillotine. He only has one, but he had your leg.
It was still pretty tight. I was lucky enough to land in half guard and get around to the side. At this point, I have no points. He almost rolls me there, but still nothing. I don't get any points here until I pop my head loose right about. I go for the Munson choke. I don't feel it. And right there, establish control for 3 seconds, and they were my points. I actually didn't even know I had them until they raised my hand.
So literally at the buzzer, you pull out a win in a match that clearly was a contest of conditioning.
Well, it could have really went either way. You know, just on that day, I was able to maintain control. It always turned out different.